On a glowing island in the middle of the vast sea called Keetonia, cats lived peacefully for generations. At its center stood the dawn light tree, which gave magic and life energy to every cat on the island. One day, a strange dark wind swept across the island, and the tree's glow began to fade. Cats grew tired, weak, and confused. Queen Katharina called upon the bravest and most skilled cats to find the source of the dark wind and restore the island's magic. Musa the mage, Volka the Viking warrior, and Dr. Pete the scientist were chosen for the mission. Unnoticed, a curious kitten named Lumen secretly followed them. The group headed toward the eastern forest and discovered an ancient maze that whispered to them constantly. The voices were eerie and made Volka suspicious and uneasy. Musa calmed him using a gentle spell, while Dr. Pete crafted a magnetic sound compass to guide them through. The maze tried to mislead them, but they followed the compass steadily. When Volka started trembling again, little Lumen sang a soft lullaby. The whispers grew quiet, and they safely reached the end of the maze, finding a glowing stone filled with light energy from the dawn light tree. Their journey led them to a deep valley where thunder roared endlessly and the bridge had collapsed. Dr. Pete built a giant flying kite powered by wind currents. But in mid-air, a sudden gust knocked Lumen off. The group cried out in panic. Musa risked everything to cast a spell in the middle of the storm to slow Lumen's fall. As Lumen landed, his paw glowed and produced a tiny flash of light. For the first time, Lumen realized he had a strange power of his own, the power of light. They reached a rugged mountain village by the volcano Fury Paw, home of the Viking cats. But the volcano was rumbling, close to erupting. The Viking chief distrusted outsiders. But Volka, once a Viking cat himself, greeted the chief with respect and tradition. That earned their trust. Dr. Pete and the Viking engineers built a steam release system using ancient tools. Volka hammered pillars into place with his mighty paws. They saved the village. In return, the chief gave them the inner flame key, which opened the final path beneath the island. Using the inner flame key, they descended into a deep cave beneath the volcano, where a dark, shadowy castle awaited. Inside, they met Nox, a former guardian of the Dawnlight Tree, who was corrupted by fear and turned to shadow magic. Nox sent illusions to each of them, revealing their worst fears. Volka saw himself failing his tribe. Dr. Pete saw his inventions hurting others. Musa saw herself losing all her magic. But Lumen stood firm.
His only fear was seeing his friends suffer. He stepped forward, and light burst from his paw. The illusions shattered, and Nox was freed from the shadow's grip. With Nox's help, the stolen magic was returned to the Dawnlight tree. Light slowly returned to the island. Flowers bloomed again. Cats began to purr and play. Keetonia was whole once more. Queen Katharina honored Musa, Volca, and Dr. Pete as heroes of the realm. And to everyone's surprise, Lumen, once the smallest and most ordinary kitten, was named the new guardian of light. The kitten who followed quietly became the island's new hope. Moral of the story: even if you're small or don't have special powers like others, if you have courage and kindness, the light inside you can shine through even the darkest places.